We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Arizona Cardinals.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. You talk about this Seahawk defense. They come into this one down at the 27th position in the league, Charles, against the run.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better, because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
And they can't bring him down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Cardinals had a struggling 3-13 now on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Murray going to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Here's Murray. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Uchenna-Nwosu able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Prater's kick is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Well, given where they started that opening drive, CD, I think to get 3 out of it, probably a pretty good start that they'll take.
I think you're exactly right about that because they just shook off the effects of the kickoff in field position and took the ball, moved it downfield. Didn't pay off with a touchdown, but that drive, that was really nice for them, and they did come away with 3 points.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here we go on 4th. Smith. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and he'll have it by plenty as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down. First carry here for Ken Walker. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Look at this Arizona defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing now is Gino. And that will be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They snap it to Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he did not reel it in. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there.
There he goes left side. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 81 yards rushing for him so far as this terrific season continues here. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through it, he's shredding them.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And Murray's going to keep this. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Prater's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Back to Walker on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit.
He's got it at the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Play action. It's Smith. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Eluding the pressure right. And now another one thrown incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Myers' kick is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3-and-out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys, maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down, Seahawks. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
These 2 teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Arizona would give them the season sweep. The final shot here before break. Smith. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. Coming out of the end zone, D. Eskridge. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Seahawks take over first and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Smith now to throw. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Seattle. 55 yards.
55 yards. First down, Seattle.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. A give for Walker running right. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Second and 9. A shotgun snap for Smith. They'll roll him out right. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
From the gun on third down, Smith being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Myers' kick is good, and that will tie things up at 6-6. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away.
The Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, here's the option. He pitches it. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's brought down. And they get Tristan Wirfs, first-round pick in 2020. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Shotgun now from Murray. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Walker now on 1st and 10. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. A beautiful. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Well, it took a while to get their first touchdown of the game, but finally some signs of life here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, that was the burst they'd been lacking all throughout this game, but that was a decisive run. Might have caught the defense a little flat-footed because they hadn't been able to get going in this one, and he was able to take that one all the way to the end zone.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
The jumbo set out there, 3rd and inches. Murray keeps it himself, and he is going to have the Cardinals first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hands it off out of the gun. taken down at the 42.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 134 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Well, if they can execute the run-pass option like that, it puts the defense in a really, really tough spot.
The running ability of Kyler Murray makes defensive coordinators and players crazy because essentially now you have an extra running back there. So if he keeps it, you've got a problem. If he hands it inside, you're probably not ready for him because you have all your focus back on number one.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. As they run left side. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swimming to the ball carrier.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
That's a great run right there on 1st down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll try to run this one in, and he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Across midfield. And down right around the 37. A gain of 32 that time.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Outright to Smith and Jigba. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the Cardinals' 31-yard line.
Geno now to throw. It's caught, Lockett, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And the Seahawks first down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Rolling to his right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Brandon, I think he's just grateful to get back to the line of scrimmage and avoid not just losing yardage, but a big hit on that play as well. That defense closed on him quick and forced a quick surrender out of bounds.
A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot, so what can they do to get closer now on 3rd down? Setting up the screen here, this is Walker. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. To throw is Smith. And it's going to be batted down. We'll go the other way with the football. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. We'll see if they can grab the lead. Either way, what a job their defense did to force the turnover on downs to set up this opportunity. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 186 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. Right back to him on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Derek Hall in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long. Here's Murray. Complete to Brown.
What a call right there. That is so well executed offensively. A massive play in this game. And now all of a sudden, they're in field goal range. And with a chance to walk out of here winners.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Running right on the option is Murray. Oh, no, he lost the football. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Oh, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is third down now. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crashing over out of bounds. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. Oh, but a great tackle there. Going to hold him to no gain as the clock runs.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers and set the edge.
So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Here comes 2nd down. Smith to throw. He's going to get this complete here to Lockett. Now he's loose down the left sideline. He's in! Are you kidding me?
How do you get that up?
One of the most improbable ways to finish a game, and they do win it on the final play.
Well, we know the crowd is absolutely stunned by what we just saw there. Forget I'm stunned. I have to believe that you are as well. When they finally get their legs back under them, they'll head to the exits, and I think they'll probably be muttering a few choice words along the way, too. How did that happen?
I don't know. They certainly thought overtime was on the horizon, bracing for overtime. We were, too, and we may want to wait a little bit before heading for the exits, let that parking lot clear out a bit.
Maybe there's a later flight we can catch.
That might be a good idea. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long and sign off from the desert.